Ladies and gentlemen, lend me your ears and your eyes. Diva Divine Light, live from Brooklyn, New York.
Know your lane for what you saying, yo. I'm sitting with my 9 million with the dilly, yo. When I be on the mic, yes, I do my duty, yo. While up in the club, I be while in the studio. You don't wanna violate, nigga, really and truly, yo. My main thug, nigga named Julio, he moody, yo. Like a nigga that'll slap me with the toolie, yo. Bitch, nigga scared to death, act fruity, yo. Fuck that, look at shorty, she a little cutie, yo. The way you shake it, make me wanna get all in the booty, yo. With no lane for what you saying, yo.
Diva Divine Light.
Really my heart to me. That's what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you really my heart to me. That's what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you.
You're watching Diva, the Divine Light. A fun-loving, caring, passionate person who talks about sex, celebrity, and real-life issues, and even abuse. So hit that like button and make sure you share the show.
Really my heart to me. That's what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you really my heart to me. That's what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you really my heart to me. That's what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you really my heart to me. That's what you got for me. Put more than hands with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you.
Here comes the pitch, and it comes in wide. On the combo.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Welcome to all my newcomers and welcome back to all my OGs in the building. OCOV family. Hello, hello, hello. Hello to everyone in the bushes. What's up? What's happening? So, by special request, I came back to read these damn text messages that ain't gonna get R. Kelly out of jail. Period. Point blank punto. At the end of the day, he was charged with certain things. Yes, these are bad parents. Horrible parents. They should have some type of consequences to pay for. They should. Because at the end of the day, they lied about how this situation came about. They covered up so that they wouldn't look like bad parents. They made it seem like R. Kelly really stalked her. But in reality, the parents were grooming her to be prepared for him. Whatever kind of scenario would arise, they would coach her. It got to a point to where Jane Doe said, I'm tired of this, and started fighting back a little bit. She started noticing the mom acting a little too much on it. And she felt like she wanted to lead her own career And already she was already in a situation where she really didn't know how to get out of. Everything was good for her up until about her birthday. She got slapped in the face right before she returned. Slap in the face is a slap in the face, right? Why would I leave and not want to come back? I was wrong, right? But that was her parents' fault. And it's weird how her mother was just like, you need to fix this, you need to fix this, you need to make sure that he knows your age. But yet, you're the one who blatantly lied to the man in the first place and then had your daughter keep the story up and then yell at her like it was her fault and it's going to be her fault if anything happens. What? Horrible. The father was complicit. The mother was in action. The father knew what was going on. That's why he decided to go out here on these YouTube streets and try to spin a certain narrative that we all followed because we believed in the man. We believed in this parent. We believed what we were told. We were all naive. Yes, we were duped. It happens. And now we're angry. And now we want the truth to be out there in complete capacity of it all. That's all we wanted from the beginning, is the truth. We are about the truth and what's right. Yes, a lot of us, we all run on emotions because this is a very, very sensitive situation. This is traumatizing for some, triggering for most. And we are all mothers. A lot of us are mothers. None of us would have let what these parents did go down. I don't care how much my child wants to be famous. You're going to go by the rules I tell you because I am going to make sure that you are safe and no one is taking advantage of you. Ever. Okay? I know that all of you guys feel the same way. We would be right there. Why would these parents let this child go? Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. So, at the end of the day, R. Kelly was charged with a RICO: racketeering, bribery, kidnapping, and human trafficking. Those were the predicate acts under the RICO. And also, he was charged with being a criminal enterprise. He was charged with committing the Mann Act. That's the human trafficking part, underneath the predicate act of RICO. Okay? Let's understand that. Okay? Now, in these text messages, there is proof that this young lady was traveled from one state to the other, from one state to the other, from one state to the other, back and forth. What was he doing with her? Nothing. He gaslighted her that she was going to be a star under his guise. What did he do? Nothing with her. Took her shopping, had her meet him at concerts. She went to McDonald's to eat. She went to play basketball with him. She was in the studio watching him. She wasn't doing music. She wasn't doing none of that. But what she was doing was being his fucking sex slave. That's what she was doing. She was being raped day after day and night after night. She was being thrown into group sex, orgies, if you will, threesomes, if you will. And then she would get her ass beat if she ain't do what she was told. If she broke his rules, they would be punished. They would be trapped in rooms, buses, closets, bathrooms, wherever he felt like throwing a bitch. Right? Torturing them. And people out here think that it's all about sex. And it's not. It's about the abuse that he did to these girls while they were under his care. He was taking care of everybody else's children, and he wasn't taking care of his own. There was a few times where his own wife had to take him to court to be like, yo, where's my money? Where's your children's money? They need that shit to live. Oh, I'm broke. Why you broke? Because I keep settling with girls. And I keep settling with people out of court because they want to sue me because I'm a jerk off. Even though I'm a humble man, I'm a nice man, but this is what I pretend to be for the world. In reality, I'm a piece of shit. Some people believe it, some people don't. It's crazy. R. Kelly is where he needs to be at the end of the day. He did inhumane acts with these girls, sodomized them. He defecated, made them defecate on each other, or eat each other's poops, or whatever they were doing for torture, for loyalty. This man, as Aaliyah said, was a bad man. And yes, she came out from her grave. Her soul came out from the grave. For those who don't understand, spiritually, she came out and she helped put this man in jail where he is, and he will remain for many years to come. He ruined his life himself because he had an addiction. At the end of the day, these text messages are not going to free him. These text messages are just exposing how the parents were pieces of shit at the end of the day and how we were all fooled. And these people out here on these streets are all fucking pretenders. All of them. You know, I'm actually going to give my props to Sylvia. I am. Because, out of everyone, well, and Dottie, I give props to Dottie too. You know, they really seem like they are for R. Kelly. They are real supporters. You know, even though I think sometimes Sylvia acts like a fucking groupie. But that's besides the point. But and then you have all these other characters who are just out here for entertainment purposes only, who are pretenders like they're really for R. Kelly, but they just want cash apps and attention and their numbers to go up and views and likes and things of this nature. Those are clowns. They're all fucking clowns. You know, um, that's how I see. I see a bunch of fucking clowns. So let me say what's up to everybody in the chat. West Coast, Bella, what's up, Linda? K-Love, what's up, Linda? What's up, Linda? Cat, what's up, lady? Purple, purple. Cherie. Jacqueline, Jacqueline. Cheers. What's up, my lady? What's up, what's up, what's up? Purple, purple. What's up, baby? Mom. What's up, mom life? What's up, ladies? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Who else is in the building? Let's see who else is in the building. Did I miss anybody here? Amos! Atmos! What's up, Poppy? Am I missing anybody? Wait, hold up. Ty! What's up, Ty? I miss Ty. Okay. Nexie, what's up, mama? What's up? What's up, mi familia in the building? Word. Queen, what's up, sis? Ruby, what's up, Ruby? Wings, what's up, Wings? Hi, baby. T-Bam, what's up, lady? All right, all right. Everybody's in the building. K-Love says she didn't have a chance with parents like these, and that is a fact. Rocking with the truth. What's up, lady? And I agree. All of this is crazy, mama. All of it. All of it. Hey, daughter of the Most High. Hi, lady. Okay, I'm just shouting everybody out, getting it out the way. Hope I didn't miss anybody. If I did, my apologies. Missy, what's up, sis? How are you, baby? Mom said, Lord have mercy. Oh, there must be some people in the chat that I don't see here. Who's Miss Jones? Okay. Juicy Love. What's up, Juicy Love? Show that in those text messages. That's a lie. Okay, so all right. What are you saying that's a lie, Juicy? What's a lie, Juicy? What's a lie? When I was talking about R. Kelly being locked up for Rico? Or what? Show that in the text messages. What do you want me to show in the text messages? That he was traveling with her? That he was making her travel? They're in there. What? Are you not reading all of that? Are you not watching? Are you not paying attention? I'm confused, girl. Mm-mm. What are you talking about? I'm eating my lunch behind the scenes, guys. Oh, give me a minute. We'll get to these text messages. Let's me. I love you, mama. What's up, baby? He sure does. La va la. We haven't even gotten started yet, and they over here acting up. Listen, she can have her comments. She can feel how she feel. You know, just don't get disrespectful. That's all I ask. You know what I mean? Listen, you guys are gonna come in. Y'all gonna come in. Thank you, Les Smith, mama, for the super chat, sweetie. You're gonna come in, and you're gonna do whatever you're gonna do. I don't mind you coming over here and having your opinion. I don't mind it. I just don't want no bickering in the chat. Like, make your comment, make your statement, but don't fight with people in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Don't take shit so personal. Just have your opinion. State your opinion. State a fact. Whatever it is that you want. But don't come in here disrespecting the victims, and don't come here disrespecting the subscribers or me, the content creator. Okay? Because that will get you blocked. If you're acting a fool, my girls will time you out. You're going to have to go sit down for 5 minutes, take a break, breathe, then you can come back. Okay? You can come back. I'm not mean. I let everybody say what they got to say. I'm pretty patient with people. But, don't get crazy. Like what happened with Dom K. He said what he said in the chat. He was being a little nuisance in the chat with the ladies. I was watching him. And it was getting a little messy in the chat. And I timed him out. Go take a walk for 5 minutes and come back. Then you could come back and talk to us. Okay? Hold on one second. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. It was a pattern. R. Kelly did this shit over and over and over again. He repeatedly did these things. I'm sorry. I was on mute. I don't know what happened. I must have pressed it by accident, guys. Yeah, and then yesterday, yo, that shit was funny when I was watching it, and that nigga had himself on mute. I knew he was gonna do that. I knew what he was gonna do because I've noticed his past few lives. He's done some dumb shit like that, pretended that he didn't realize he was being muted, and then he's talking, ka 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 ka, and then he goes, "Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know. Oh, no. Well," and then continues the live. Like, what? It was just so weird for me. I don't know. I don't know. It's a pretending thing. It's crazy. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Yes, those text messages are cringy. Yes, they are. So, yeah. So confused about why they believe R. Kelly is getting released. R. Kelly still had sex with minors and deserves all the time he has given. Exactly. Hey, Joanne, what's up, lady? What's up, mama? Thank you, sweetheart. I had such a good time, mommy. Thank you, Joanne. Yes, and they were part of the discovery. Yes, they were, ma'am. Yes, they were, Kayla. They're not new to the government. That's right. They won't free him. And if his defense team wanted to use them, they could have used them too, but they didn't. That's okay. She could argue with my statement. As long as she didn't get disrespectful, I don't care. I wanted to hear what she had to say. What did he say? I missed it. I was going back and forth with him the other day. I was watching that with you guys, and yeah, that was crazy. He will be in here a bit. Well, if he fuck up, he will go straight to body. Okay. I was like that. What are you talking about? Read the room. Right. Right. Daughter, I was watching, baby. I was watching, baby. Yes. Well, we can all stop acting like Jane Doe 5 was the only victim. Right. See, that's another thing. Jane Doe number 5 was not the only victim. There was 5 other victims, including Aaliyah, who was dead. She's not here. May she rest in peace. God bless her soul. She was here in spirit. Okay? Right, daughter. He gets on my nerves repeating himself like, okay, we know how you feel, but it doesn't change shit. He's not getting out. Exactly, K-Love. That's what I was trying to explain to him, too. You know, like at the end of the day, he had all these charges. It wasn't just all her charges. There was other girls. The only girl he did not get convicted of was Sonia. He got convicted with Stephanie. He got convicted with Aaliyah. He got convicted with Geronda. He got convicted with Faith. And he got convicted with Azriel. He did not get convicted with Sonia. And that was the white girl. The only one. Look at that. They didn't believe the white girl. Isn't that fucking crazy? How about that? And people over here are thinking it's always a black and white thing. Fuck out of here. It's a fucking pervert thing. It's a human trafficking thing. It ain't got nothing to do with black or white. It has to do with nastiness and misconduct and crimes and rape. Okay? Because R. Kelly didn't ask none of these girls, can I have sex with you? Would you like to have sex with me? He just said, take off your clothes. Come here. And laid you down and just raped you. Whether it was oral sex or it was vaginal sex. He was just taking it. The fuck? You don't just assume right away that a woman is going to want it because she's there. You have to ask. I really can't with the rejects. Okay, back to work. Candy, what's up, Candy? Candy. Aisha, what's up, love? Jane definitely wasn't the only victim. Even if you take her away, R. Kelly still charged there with still will charge. There was other underage. Right, he was still charged, and there were other underage victims. You're right. There were 3 adults and there were 3 minors. The minors being Aaliyah, Geronda, and Azriel. The adults being Faith and Sonia and Faith and Stephanie. They were the adults. It was 3 minors, 3 adults. And they weren't even really adults, except for I think Sonia, she was like 24, I think, or something like that. Right? Faith was 19. She was still a teenager, but she was an adult. She was of legal age. And then you had Stephanie, who I think was like 22 or something like that. So what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Yes, he's always acting like number 5 is the only victim. And if it wasn't for her, they had no case. Like, he is delusional. Right. That is crazy. How do you even think like that? Y'all retarded. Seriously. Come on. He's such a whiner. Yeah, exactly. He was trying to change everybody's minds. Right. She's one person out of many all over the U.S. of A. Exactly. Okay. You can't hear nothing? I'm talking now, mommy. I'm not on mute, guys. I'm not on mute at this moment. Maybe that was a minute ago. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. That was a minute ago. Okay. 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 Like, how was his daughter missing school without him knowing? That was the craziest part. Like, first of all, she met him right away. You already knew she was interacting with him, and you were letting her stay out of school, asking her if she did get to school. Oh, she didn't. She's got to make up things, and oh, you got to go to practice and practice, and what? What? It was just all over the place, crazy. Daughter, he was right there because at one point, sorry ass mom said, call your dad and your dad can pick you up. Right. He was there. He knew what the fuck was going on. He was very much complicit. Even though mom was the one that was working the hardest behind the scene, dad was there to pick up the pieces. He was there. Right. That's why he kept up the lies. That's why he figured if anything goes down, I'll be the front winner to mask everything. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of the streets. Well, she did say that he was abusive. The poor girl thought that this was normal. If she sees her mother and father going through it, and her mother gets her ass whooped every once in a while, then she's going to feel that that's normal. This is the way a relationship should be. So when she got with R. Kelly, she saw it as this is the way it should be. According to my mother and my father, because this is the example I learned at home. Now, we all kind of knew something there was not right. Diva, I think they didn't use them because with those text messages, there might. Listen, Judge Donnelly said we cannot use those text messages because they will confuse the jury. And we are not trying to bring in the parents because there is no type of admission of extortion. So it makes no sense. Judge Donnelly said it. That's why they weren't allowed to be submitted. Only certain portions of certain texts were allowed. Oh, hold on one second. That's my mom. Give me a moment. Sorry about that, guys. That was my mom. I had to deal with mom real quick. Sorry, guys. All right. So, enough talking. Let's get to this reading. Yes, please hit the thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, I don't respond to people who are, that some people are bringing up my name and stuff, and I'm just not with it. I don't want to get involved. I do what I do. People don't like it. Oh, fucking well. Kick rocks. Have a nice day. All right. So now I'm gonna go off screen, so I'm not gonna see anybody in the chat. Let me see. Wait, hold on. Let me get my phone here. Let me prepare the phone so if I can't see somebody. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, because sometimes I can't see everybody on this StreamYard. It's weird. It's really weird. Okay. Now, I just hope my phone doesn't interact with the... Okay. Delka, how you doing, baby? Hey, Karen Johnson, what's up, love? What's up, mommy? Yeah, there is still, you'll never know, man. You never know. They might indict other people. One never knows, man. There's still a lot of the story that we don't know. Okay. All right, now, like I said, I'm gonna go off screen. So last we left it on page 30. And what's gonna start it off is going to be from. Now the from is mom, and the to is Jane Doe. Okay, right? If I'm not mistaken. Wait, let me see. Right, from is mom. Okay, the from is mom, and the to is Jane Doe. Okay. So, okay, from. So we're gonna start with mom. So on May 1st of 2015 at 1:45 p.m., mom says, "You miss us yet?" Jane says, 2:20. Mom says, if you use room phone to call out, he can get log of every number you called since he paid for hotel. And then an outgoing call was made to the assistant. The assistant, Jane says to the assistant, Mr. Kelly said, get me to Stockton, California, and to his show tonight. Keywords right there. Juicy love. Juicy. You still in the background? Listen very carefully. Listen to the words that are coming out of Jane Doe's mouth to the assistant of R. Kelly. Jane says, Mr. Kelly said, get me to Stockton, California, and to his show tonight. Okay? What does that mean right there? Let me highlight this shit. I'm going to keep it highlighted. There's one point where he's telling the girl to go somewhere, to California. For what? Juicy? What was he doing with her if he was supposed to be doing music for her? What did he take her there for? For what? Right. Let me know in the comments section below in the video, okay? All right. Then Jane hits up mom and says to her, Ma, laughing my ass off, I'm finna be on my way to Stockton, California. Got a 5-hour trip. Then mom hits her back up and says, so you are going to the concert? I told you. Yeah, I'll get your bro. Get your bro. Get your bro. Hold up 1 second, guys.
He told me.
What?
Someone told me.
Oh, he just got you right now? Oh, okay. All right, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. Sorry, guys. So the mom says, so you are going to the concert? I told you. Oh my God, exciting. You riding on the tour bus? Okay, I will get it scheduled. No, I'm sorry. Then the assistant hits up Jane Doe and says to her, okay, I will get it scheduled. Number 2, here we go, another part. I'm showing you, Juicy. I'm showing you, okay, Juicy? So you could see and understand. Let me hold up. I didn't feel like sharing the fucking screen, but I'm gonna share the screen because people are retarded. So let's do that. All right, now. Now done. Um. Okay. All right. Oh no, I'm sorry. I did it the wrong way. Okay. All right, guys, let me go back. What's up, Karen? What's up, Peter? What's up, ladies? All right, let me go back to the text. All right. Now, then Jane hits back the assistant and says, thank you. Then the assistant hits her back and says, because of the time frame, I'm going to send an Uber car for your airport drop off. Can you be ready by 2 p.m.? Then Jane says, I'm ready now. Just let me know when the car is at the hotel. Now, this is 4:23 p.m. on May 1st of 2015. Then the assistant says, okay, I will. Then Jane says to mom, Jane hits up mom and says, I'm very excited. Then the assistant hits her up and says, car will arrive in 5 minutes. Then Jane says, no. Yeah, Jane hits up the assistant and says, thank you. Okay. Then Jane hits up mom and says, I'm very excited. Then the assistant hits her up and says, car will arrive in 5 minutes. She hits up the assistant. Jane hits up the assistant and says, thank you. Then the assistant says, black Suburban is parked out front of the hotel now to pick you up. The assistant also says, let me know when you get in the vehicle. Jane says, I'm in the truck. Thank you. The assistant hits her back and says, perfect. Jane hits up the assistant and says, do you know which airline I'll be attending? The assistant says, Delta Airlines. Jane says, thank you. Here's your proof of travel, Juicy Love. Then at 5:14 on May 1st of 2015, Jane Doe texts the assistant and says, can you resend that last text? Sorry. Then the assistant says, Delta Airlines. Itinerary Delta Airlines confirmation number. Departs LA at 4:55. Arrives Sacramento at 6:26. Then Jane hits up Mom. And she lets Mom know what her itinerary is. No, wait. No. I'm sorry. Two is as. Two is right from the assistant to her. Okay, then the incoming came, the text came through again. That's what it was. Okay. And then the assistant says, are you checking any bags or carrying your bag on the plane? Jane says, no, just my purse. The assistant says, okay. The assistant says, there will be a car picking you up in Sacramento and driving you to Stockton to check into your hotel. I will send you that information also. Jane says, thank you to the assistant. Okay. Okay. Okay, now Jane says, thank you. Okay. 64.91. Uh okay. Then Jane hits up Mom Dukes and says to Mom Dukes, half this stuff I can't be saying over the phone, shaking my head. Then Jane hits up the assistant and says, when I get to the airport, what will I show them? The assistant says, go to the kiosk and enter in your confirmation number. I can walk you through it when you arrive. Jane says to the assistant, all right, thank you. The assistant says, no problem. I'll be on standby for you throughout the entire process. Now, this poor baby was going through all of this by herself. She had no adult with her. She didn't even have her sister Isis with her, which was bullshit. Where's her sister Isis at? Nowhere around. The parents said that Isis was with them, was with her. How is this possible? Right. Okay, let's see. Now, all right, who was I? Then Jane hits up the assistant and says, "Thank you very much. I'm arriving at the airport now." The assistant hits Jane back up and says, "Perfect." Jane hits back the assistant, says, "I found it. I did it. Thank you." The assistant says, "Awesome. There will be a car at the airport to meet you when you land. Have a safe flight." Then she hits up the assistant and says, "Thank you for everything." The assistant said, "No problem. Let Mr. Kelly know that everything worked great and text me when you land. Safe travels." Jane texts back and says, "Will do." Then mom hits up Jane and says, "It won't be star lifestyle if you don't get serious about your music and show this man you want to be famous like him. Once he tired of you, you'll be like everybody else. You better use this as your opportunity while you got him in a spell." Now that part, Bonjean had let us know in her motion about these text messages, right? And how she was trying to say that the mom was the one who coerced the daughter, right? Right. But all this other part was missing about Mr. Kelly, Mr. Kelly, Mr. Kelly, Mr. Kelly. You see how the lawyer was trying to work it, but all these other texts before this one part she said was missing. That's why I'm glad we got these, because certain parts that Bonjean did put in motion weren't exactly back to back because there was all these other things missing in between. So when the appeals lawyers, the appeal judges see these text messages and then see what she was complaining about and say, "Well, but here it shows that he was booking his assistant was booking flights for this young lady and she was 17 years old at this time. What was he doing with her? There's no evidence here stating that they were working on music. So what was he doing with this young lady?" Do you really think the judges are going to be that stupid? They're going to be like, "Duh, like you people?" No, they're not at all. Mm-mm-mm. Then Jane responds to mom and says, "Okay." Then mom says, "Your dress will be here in 2 days." Jane says, "There will be a short delay, so we'll be arriving around 6:30 instead." Mom says, "Okay, got it." Then mom says, "Oh no, wait. No. I'm sorry. Hold on. I gotta back up." Jane hit up mom and said, "Okay." Then mom said that her dress will be there in 2 days. Then Jane hits up the assistant and says, "There will be a short delay, so we'll be arriving around 6:30 instead." Then the assistant said, "Okay, got it." The assistant also said, "Driver will arrive at 7 p.m. There will be a delay due to travel time." Then mom hits her up and says, "You should text him and be like, you're gonna be my boo, and see what he say." Then the assistant gets text. Jane hits up the assistant and says, "Okay, thank you." Then Jane hits up mom and says, "Laughing my ass off." Then mom hits her back up and says, "Laugh out loud. I told you to wear your rosary because he has a big ass one that he wears. He's very religious, grew up in church." Then Jane says, and I told you mine broke. Then mom says, if you had yours, he probably would be like Luke, too creepy. Y'all too similar. Oh my God. She's letting her own daughter know that this man is a creep. She's talking about Luke. Are you serious? Luke, who is a nasty pervert, who's probably like R. Kelly, who we don't know about? Who knows? And she's comparing him to Luke? What the fuck? And she's telling her 17-year-old daughter this, like, what? You're throwing your daughter to a wolf and you know it. You're a horrible mother. What the fuck are you doing? Then mom hits her up and says, where it's at so I can get it fixed. Then Jane says, my car, underneath the cup thing. Then mom says, okay. Then mom says, now here it is, still May 1st of 2015, guys, and it's 7:52 p.m. now. And the mom hits up Jane and says, I read this article about why he likes McDonald's so much. I'm going to send it to you. Remind me of how I feel about my mom. Oh, she said, I guess she meant to say, reminds me of how I feel about my mom. Then Jane responds and says, aw, really? I think it has something to do with his mom, to be honest. Then Jane says, maybe like the only place they could eat at, to be honest. Then mom says, yep, exactly. Jane says, really? Mom says, www.mtv.com/news. R. Kelly loves McDonald's so much he started working the drive-thru. And that article had to do with the whole thing that I believe happened with Jay-Z. Then Jane Doe hits up mom and says, I could tell it had to do with something close to him because he eats there a lot. And Wednesday, he said McDonald's, and I laughed. And he said, I never get tired of it. A girl I was dealing with in the past couldn't understand why it touched me so much to eat there, but one day you'll understand. And this is what Mr. Kelly said to her. Then Jane says, I'm about to board. I love you. Now, Jane texts the assistant and says, we're about to depart. I'll let you know when I've landed. Then the mom hits her up and says, okay, love you. Have fun. What time the show start? What you got on? Send me a pic. Then the assistant hits her up and says, perfect. Then mom hits her up again and says, what's the iPod info so I can contact you? Then Jane hits up the assistant and says, we just landed. On my way to baggage to find the exit. Now it's 9:29 p.m. on May 1st. Then Jane hits up her mom and says the iPod information, which is a Yahoo account. Then the assistant hits up Jane and says, perfect, driver will arrive at 7 p.m. So walk slow. Then mom hits up Jane at 9:30 and says, okay, You made it to your destination? Jane responds to Mom, yes. At 7, the chauffeur will come. Then Jane texts the assistant and says, thank you, laugh out loud, and I will. Then Mom hits up Jane, and it's now 9:32. Okay, well, I was looking at the arena. It's huge. Then Jane hits back Mom and says, really? Laughing my ass off. Always. Wish you was here with me. Then Mom says, so are you going to the arena or hotel? Me too. Then Jane says, hotel first. Then Mom says, he been there. He did his sound check. Which one? And then Jane says, I don't know yet. The chauffeur come at 7. I gotta wait for R regardless because he has my luggage. So he'll probably do his sound check and then come straight to the hotel to give me my stuff. Dang. He probably is there. I don't know. Then Mom says, yeah, he been there. He did his sound check. Did you let him know you made it and ask him if he got there safely? Jane says, I did, yes. Laugh out loud. Mom says, do you know what hotel? Jane says, not yet. Mom says, okay. Then Jane says, when I get it, I'll let you know. Then Mom Duke says, the chauffeur there yet? What you gonna wear? Jane says, I don't know, to be honest. Then Mom says, don't you think you should have been thinking about that? Make sure that hair to the side and you put lotion on and perfume on. He wants you to be dressed up. Then Jane says, I'm thinking my blue pants, heels, and a crop top. Mom says, he don't like tight pants. Checked in to make sure the driver located you. Please text me when you arrive at the hotel and send me your room number. That was from the assistant. The assistant texted her and said, check in to make sure the driver located you. Please text me when you arrive at the hotel and send me your room number. Then she texts the assistant back and says, can you send me the info on the hotel I'm at? Then Mom Dukes, she hits up Mom Dukes, and it's now 10:22 p.m. She says, yes, when I'm out. Then she also hits up Mom and says, not if I'm just going out to shop. Then Mom says, okay. Then the assistant hits up Jane at 10:23 p.m. and says, hi, Jane. Here's your hotel information. Residence Inn, Stockton, 3240 West March Lane, Stockton, California. Confirmation number. And she says, okay. And then mom hits up Jane and says, okay. Then Jane hits up Mom and gives Mom the address. Then Jane hits up the assistant and said, Resident Inn, thank you. And then Jane hits up Mom and says, Residence Inn. Then the assistant hit her up and said, yes. Then Mom hits up Jane, and it's 10:28 p.m. and says, okay, your driver there yet? Then Jane says, yes, laughing my ass off. On my way to the hotel now. Then mom says, what time he performed? Jane says, I don't know, to be honest. He never even told me. Then mom says, why you don't ever ask? You need to seem interested and curious. Then Jane says, we was rushing. You don't understand. Then mom says, men don't like real boring girls that aren't inquisitive. Oh my God. you, like I said, she's coaching her daughter. Jane then says to mom, I told you. He asked me, did I want to come to his show? I said, of course. And he said, okay, then let's pack this stuff up. He was even putting his stuff in my bag. Well, suitcase. Then mom says, why your eyes look like that in the pic? You look like a demon. Then Jane says, laughing my ass off, no, I was annoyed, silly. Then mom says, oh, you rolling your eyes? Then Jane says, yeah, LOL. Then mom says, he said 7. It's 30 after. Did you tell him? Jane says, no. What you talking about? Then mom says, didn't he say chauffeur will pick you up at 7? It's after 7. You better let him know. Then Jane says, I'm with the chauffeur. Then mom says, oh, sorry. Then Jane says, you're fine. Mom says, you're not at hotel yet? Jane says, no, it's like an hour away. Mom says, wow, you may miss him perform. Then Jane says, no, it's at 10. We'll get to the hotel around 8:30, and the hotel close to the arena. He never on time anyways. He probably got opening acts and all. You hear what she said? He's never on time anyway. That's one thing that a lot of people complained about R. Kelly and his concert. He never opened up on time. He was always late. Then mom says, yeah, but they probably done. Then Jane hits up the assistant at 11:13 p.m. and says, Mr. Kelly wants me at the show tonight in the front row. Then Jane hits up mom and says, crazy, this man just called me, said he wants me right in the front row. Then the assistant hits up Jane and says, I'm already on it. Text me as soon as you arrive. Did you check into your room okay? I told you you better look pretty. Then Jane hits up the assistant and says, I'm not there yet. Then Jane's mom hits up Jane and says, girl, I know you need to start listening to me. Then the assistant hit up Jane and said, okay. Then Jane hits up mom and says, I'm going to try, laughing my ass off. Then mom says, fix your hair right. Make sure your lips shiny. Put on eyeliner and fix your hair. Make it to the side. It looks so much prettier. I would blow him little kisses and wink at him and bite the tip of my finger. Mess with him real good. Do something seductive, then make a silly face. Laugh out loud, rolling on the fucking floor. So she's telling, so this part that Bon Jean let us know about was about her sitting there in the audience watching his concert and making contact with him and flirting with him in a sense. That's what Bonjean showed us that the mom was saying for her to flirt with R. Kelly. Then the mom says, don't be surprised. He may pull your ass on stage. You don't have nothing better to wear than that? Jane says, no. Mom says, wear your little black one-piece short set. Why? You're still bleeding. Then Jane says, it's big. And yes, I am. So May 1st, she was on her menstrual. The girl was on her menstrual at this time. Now, it's 11:23 p.m. on May 1st, 2015. And Jane texts the assistant, I'm here. The assistant says, okay, great. When you check in with your confirmation number, please text me your room number. Jane says, how much time do I have to get ready? The assistant said, 20 minutes. You can do it. Your driver will wait there until you come back down. Jane says, okay, can you tell him 20 minutes? The assistant says, yes. Then Mom Dukes hits her up and says, make sure you make your ears pop because he may pull you on stage and let you hit a note. Blow your ears now and do vocal warm-ups. You better start listening to me. Then the assistant hits up Jane and says, done. And then the assistant said, checked in? Jane says, yes, I did. The assistant says, room number. Jane says, room 205. The assistant says, okay, perfect. Text me when you're on your way. Then Jane says, okay, can you call the chauffeur? The assistant says, yes, I did. Just call him. He's ready when you come down. Jane says, I don't have his number. The assistant says the number. And then she says, I called him and he's ready when you are. Then Mom Dukes hits up Jane and says, actually, you look cute. I just don't like that color lip gloss. I brought you a matte pink lip gloss. It's so cute. Oh, so sickening how the mother is just like, oh, God. Let me go get something to drink real quick. All right, sorry, guys. Had to wet the whistle. Okay. So now the assistant, Jane, texts the assistant, and it's now 11:49 p.m. on May 1st, 2015. And she says, we're on our way. And then Jane hits up Mom Dukes and says, aw, cute. Then the assistant hits up Jane and says, perfect. Jane says to the assistant, is there a certain side or part you want us to go into? The assistant says, yes, your ticket is at will call. I can meet you there if you're unsure. Jane says, yes, please, meet me there. Then the assistant says, okay, on my way. Stay in the car until I get there. The assistant gets text by Jane and says, because I need to talk to you anyways. My phone's dying and I need to know how I'll be leaving before it dies completely. I'm on like 10%. And will do. Then the assistant texts her and says, okay, the driver is going to wait there for you until after the show. Then Jane says to the assistant, thank you. I'm here. Then the assistant says, okay, I'm right out front. Then Jane says, I'm here. Then Jane texts her mom, I think this man has something planned because I'm with his executive and she's telling the lady she needs to be on the floor. That's where Mr. Kelly wants her. Then she hits up Mom Dukes and says, mad happy. Then the assistant texts Jane and says, Tim is parked across the street from where I dropped her off at will call between a white car and an orange car. Jane texts back the assistant and says, thank you. Then she texts mom and says, Tim is parked across the street from where I dropped her off between a white car and an orange car. So she just forwarded the text to her mom, is basically what she did. So then Jane texts the assistant and says, keep this just in case my phone die. Then mom, ow, my knee. Then mom hits up Jane, and it is now May 2nd at 12:25 a.m. So it's midnight in California. Why you got on those bummy ass tennis? And then Jane hits up mom and says, this all I got. Then the assistant hits up Jane and says, do not move out of your seat for anyone. When he comes out and everyone goes to the end of stage, you can get closer, but be very careful if you do. Enjoy the... And then Mom Dukes hits her up and says, be ready to sing something. Do some warm-ups for real. And then Jane hits up the assistant and says, I will. Then the assistant hit her back and said, show. And then Jane says, thank you to the assistant. Then Jane hits up her mom and says, laughing my ass off. No, I'm not singing. But he was pressed to have his baby in the front. Oh my God. So now here it is. She's already his baby. And she only been dealing with him for about a month. Not even a couple of weeks, because she met him April 15th or 18th. And we're May 2nd. This is only a couple of weeks. And he's already her baby. She's already his baby, shall I say. Then Mom Dukes hits up Jane and says, you better do some riffing and improvising. Then Jane says, okay, I'm so scared. I know he's going to be looking at me all night, shaking my head. And Ma, I look a hot mess, a hot ass mess. And all these girls in their best and still don't look cuter than me. Oh my God. She said they look country and shit. Girl, you're 17 years old And your mother is making you feel like you a woman to be ready for this man, you fucking piece of shit mother. Fuck you. That's all I gotta say. Then mom says, you better sing That's What You There For. Don't make him look stupid. If he pull you on stage and you don't sing, he would probably never speak to you again. Then Jane says, laughing my ass off, I know, I'm going to sing if he asks me to, but I'm here to watch him do his thing. Not my time to shine. Then mom says, you better rip it, give him a lap dance and everything, perform. He been shining for years. If he give you the stage, that is your time to shine. Then Jane says, I know, Ma. Then mom says, you do look cute. You a natural beauty. Just throw them tennis away. I guess she meant to say about the shoes. Throw the tennis shoes away. And then Jane says, thank you. It's like she gives her daughter confidence, but then she shits on her. She gives her confidence, but then she shits on her. Like, you're fucking confusing this little girl. You're pulling her every which way. And then she's got this man pulling her another way. What the fuck? Mm-mm. That's crazy. All right. Now, Jane texts his mom, Dukes, and it's 12:32 on May 2nd. She says, love you. My phone's dying. I don't want people looking in my phone. His number right under yours. Love you. Then mom says, you in front row. People probably wondering who you are. Don't say shit. Then Jane says, I know. I'm not. Then mom says, you better make me and him proud when he pull you on stage. Have fun. Then Jane says, why you keep saying that? Who said he'd do that? He just want to sing the show to me again. I already know. But bye, love you. If I do end up on stage, I'm going to do my thing, no doubt. Love you. Bye. So now, I'm coming to think R. Kelly never put her on the stage. Did R. Kelly put her on stage? When they spoke about R. Kelly putting her on the stage, it was in the festival, right? The first festival, the Funk Festival. Is that what it was? That's how everything happened, right? Okay. I'm thinking about it now. Okay, I was just trying. I just didn't want to confuse situations, but okay, I got it now. I got it.
I just killed that nigga. He just killed me.
Okay.
I just shot him.
She says, okay, so then Az says, why you keep saying that? Who said he'd do that? He just want to sing the show to me again. I already know. But bye, love you. If I do end up on stage, I'm going to do my thing, no doubt. Love you. Bye. Mom says, you better. Then Jane says, tell me how he gave me black undies again. Laughing my ass off. I'm right here in the middle. He's singing the whole show to me. Then mom says, laugh out loud, too funny. Then Jane says, for real, for real. Laughing my ass off. This man's in love. Then mom says, oh my God, you're going to marry him and have his babies. Laugh out loud. My son-in-law going to be older than me. 2, dang funny. Then Jane says, laughing my ass off. Ma. Then mom says, well, you better get signed first, then married second. Then Jane says, this girl in front of me took a video of me. Then mom says, how you acting? Then Jane says, because she trying to see why he's showing me so much attention. Probably gonna Google me, and I'm here.
I don't know what to do.
That's weird. Why would you say that? Then mom says, staying calm. Jane says, standing in my seat, staying calm. Ain't acting like them. Then mom says, why you got on the same shit you had on yesterday? Then Jane says, cuz. Mom says, good girl, you learn. Then Jane says, it was the quickest thing I could grab, and I only wore it for 2 hours at the mall. Mom says, I hope he didn't see you. Jane says, and Ma, these girls jealous, trying to figure out why he's showing me so much attention, and he didn't be quiet. Mom says, don't trip, it's y'all little secret. They got nothing on my baby. Your sweet cinnamon, the prettiest brown caramel. He don't like light-skinned girls. Saw in an interview. Huh? Who didn't be quiet? Oh, okay. People, men and women adore you. You're beautiful. You just need to believe it. You think all these guys and girls would be crazy over you if you weren't especially one of the most richest, famous, handsome man in the world. Girl, please. What? The fuck? What? That was just the weirdest conversation.
Yeah, all right. You dropped me like that. Get him, Don.
Oh my God. See, I feel like, you know, when the parents said that their daughter researched a lot of stuff about him, I don't think so. The mother was doing all the research, and she was letting her daughter know about him as she was little by little finding things out. So they did do research about him and knew things about him. So these parents fooled all of us. Yeah, well, we knew he had the trouble that he did, but he was acquitted, so we didn't think nothing of it. No, you were thinking a whole lot of it, and you were throwing your daughter to the wolf to see if he would bite the bait and get married to your daughter because you wanted him to be a son-in-law. You wanted him to pick your daughter musically and sexually. Yes, I agree with that. This is all that shows. That is disgusting. You're a piece of shit of a mother. How dare you? This is not a joke. You don't joke with your children like this. Then Jane says to Mom, this man's making it so obvious, staring exactly at me.
Still sitting in the bathroom. Get up.
HW don't care. I guess Howie don't care or whatever. He don't care. I guess you meant to put he don't care. He keeps taking his glasses off. Then the mom says, "What the fuck?" Rolling on the floor. Crazy. Whatever you do, don't answer questions. Jane says, laughing my ass off. I know. Then mom says, he's going to seduce you tonight. Laugh out loud. You have to give him a message before he go to bed. Jane says, laughing my ass off. No, I doubt it. Then the mom says, girl, you better, or he will get someone else to. Laugh out loud. Nah, no. What? Then Jane says, laughing my ass off, shut up. Then Mom Duke says, ha ha. I would not be joking around with my daughter like this.
Yeah, but in the pregame lobby,
My daughter's 16 and I don't talk to her like that.
the pregame lobby, your gun shoot
No.
a lot better.
You don't do that. You just don't. Then the mom says, he keeps touching your hand. You're going to have a bunch of them black panties. Jane says, laughing my ass off, yo, he mad as fuck. You jinxed me. Mom says, laugh out loud. Jane says, some guy came up to me talking, saying, you want to meet him? You know him? He like you. Then Mom says, why? And Jane says, he said on stage for the guy to move, shaking my head. He mad as fuck. Mom says, what happened? Say no, I'm good, thanks. Jane says, I didn't even open my mouth, but he saw him beside me and told him to move. Now he won't even look at me. I think he's mad. Then Mom says, nah, long as you didn't say nothing, he can't be mad with you. Didn't he tell you not to be jealous? Well, he can't be jealous either. What? Then Jane says, I didn't. He sing, keep it on the down low, and sung it all to me. Oh, God. Then Mom says, laugh out loud. Wow, he didn't even sing that the last time. You're going to have to send him a booty shot pic. Laugh out loud. Jane says, laughing my ass off. Why would you tell your daughter to send him a booty? Mm, mm, mm. Hold on 1 second, guys. Give me a minute. Give me 1 second.
Oh, he shot you from the roof.
I had to
I see purple. I see the purple.
I had to pause on that for a second, guys.
Oh, somebody else behind me. Somebody else behind me. Oh,
How dare you
oh my
say
God.
that?
These girls are fucking
Not
wild.
even jokingly would I say that to my daughter about a 47-year-old man.
Oh, I didn't get that kill.
My daughter's 17. He's 47. He is 20 years older than my daughter.
Tell me if I want to rerun it. I'm in your lobby.
What?
You a freaking weasel.
Disgusting. Then Jane says, laughing my ass off. Then Mom says, girl, he gonna really want some of you after tonight. Oh my God. He's still mad. You gotta give him a little lap dance and Prince tonight. Laugh out loud. Hello? You okay? Then Jane responds, he ain't mad, laughing my ass off. Might have to. Then Mom says, nah, it's all good. What? Oh my God. Give me a second, guys. Now, Jane, it is now May 2nd, 2015, and it's 2:12 a.m. Jane texts the assistant, I'm leaving. The assistant says, perfect. Your driver is in the same location that he dropped you. Text me when you're in the car. Wait, don't leave. Then Jane says, I'm in the car. Want me to come back in? We didn't pull off. The assistant says, yes, come back in. Jane says, where are you? Where you at? The assistant says, meet you same place out front. Coming BG. Coming out in 5. Jane says, I'm at the booth where I got my wristband. The assistant says, yes, stay there. Jane says, okay. The assistant says, coming. Jane says, okay, I'm still here. Then Mom hits her up at 2:26 a.m. and says, well, good night. Talk to you tomorrow. Jane hits up Mom and says, I'm backstage laughing my ass off waiting for him. Good night, Mom. Love you. Mom says, I'm not going to sleep. So what happened? Where he at? Then Jane says, my phone gonna die, but it was amazing. It gets better and better. He's changing, then meet and greet, then to me, and off to the hotel. And this is at 2:35 a.m.
Y'all down. Somebody went your way. Somebody just floated to you.
Now, 2:37 a.m., Mom hits her back up and says, wow, one day you're going to be just as good and famous. You got to want that. Jane says, I do. It's crazy. He was handing out the panties and he said, small booties, and all the girls in front of me was bouncing their butts. And then I put my hand up and he threw them at me. And they was all bent over mad as fuck. I just laughed and he blew me a kiss and went on to the next size. Ma, they was trying to take videos and pictures of me low key like I ain't see. They had their front cam on acting like they were taking pics. I just laughed. I then caught the feelings, shaking my head. That's the worst. Then mom says, you caught feelings? Hold on, guys. I saw you do that on purpose.
I'm gonna drop this money here to buy this shit. Oh,
Now, then Jane says, Ma, they was trying to, okay, for the worst feeling. Okay. Then mom hits her back up and says, you caught feelings? Laugh out loud. Yeah, can't be doing that. So did he talk to the guy again and him give someone his number like he did you? Jane said, nah, he stared at me the whole night. Mom says, that's what's up. He's in your spell. Then Jane says, it was all older women and they were ugly as fuck, busted, peeling heels, looked a country mess, big guts out, shorts with D. They just looked a hot mess, I swear. Then mom says, that's why he liked you. Even at Orlando show, you were the youngest girl there. So see now when Bonjean was throwing about this text and this part, she didn't show all this other stuff. Azriel was explaining about the women that were in the audience and how R. Kelly was just, his attention was solely on her. And all those women were ugly groupies, old ladies, old hags. He didn't want none of them. Then Mom Duke says, that's why he liked you even at Orlando show. You were the youngest girl there. And prettiest. Well, have a great evening. Good night. Jane says, I know. I'm at my hotel room. Oh, I'm sorry. Then the assistant, Jane hits up the assistant and says to the assistant, I'm at my hotel room. Then the assistant says, perfect. Jane hits up mom again and says, my phone died. I love you. Good night. Mom says, oh my God, glad you had a wonderful evening. I know you not up. I'm getting ready for the beach. Now, that text was sent on May 2nd at 7:53 a.m. So when she told her mother good night, it was 4:19 in the morning. And then her mom hit her back up at 7:53 in the morning, 4 hours later. So now, Mom, it is 7:54 and she hits her up and says, hope you have an awesome day. Fight night, baby. Flying to Vegas. Huh. Like, okay, at you. We having fight party this evening. I love you. You kind of living your life now, even though it's someone else's spotlight. At least you're getting a taste so you can see what it's like and you'll work that much harder. As long as you're happy, I'm good. But I need you to still know you are an artist also, and you have a career too. He's famous. You trying to get famous. If you get on, you won't have to worry if he kick you to the curb because you will be famous too. You need to let him. And she's like, Mom's like, don't worry. If you get with him and you wind up breaking up or something like that, that's okay. He kicks you to the curb. You'll be famous. He's famous. Everybody's famous. It's okay. Like, what? The fuck kind of advice are you giving to your child? Horrible. Then Mom says, you need to let him hear you and Stewie's song, a duet. He may want to do one with you. Do you have it on your phone? Hit the boys up, see if they can if they can come up with a dance routine for Beyonce's 7-Eleven. Are you okay? I had a dream about that. Let him hear I Got You with Stewie. Your writing is sick, sensual, grown hot. He will be impressed. And this was at 11:41 a.m. So she tried to hit her up at 8 o'clock. So from 8 o'clock all the way to 11:57 is when Az finally woke up. So she was, I guess, down, sleep to whatever time, and then finally woke up. Here it is, 11:41. And she's 11:57, and she tells her mom, going to Vegas. Love you. Morning. I'm sleepy. Why is she so sleepy? Right? She got to the hotel at almost 5 a.m., 4:30 a.m. He must have had her up all night. She was like, I'm going to bed. Good night. My battery's dying. Love you. And then Mom says, on your way now. So what happened last night? Morning. Schedule change? Would you be ready to fly to Vegas this afternoon at 2:55 p.m. today? You would have to depart your hotel at noon. I'm at Miss Apple's. Yes. Going to beach, then back home for fight party. Didn't I tell you about being sleepy? Get your damn Starbucks and wake up. You see all my texts, answer them, please. What happened last night? Hello? So what happened? Okay, so she hit her up at 11:57. Mom, Jane hit Mom back up at 11:57 a.m. Then at 12:29, Mom started. Mom texted her. And then, I'm sorry, at 12:30, the assistant texted Jane and said, morning schedule change. Would you be ready to fly to Vegas this afternoon at 2:55 p.m. today? Another travel. See? Another travel. Another travel. Then Mom hits her up, and then Mom says that she's going to the beach and all of that. So from 12:30 p.m. all the way till 3:25 p.m., Mom was hitting her up. The assistant hit up Jane at 1:20 p.m. and said, let me speak with Mr. Kelly first, and I will advise more regarding your travel. Now, when she said, wake up, then Mom says, after Mom says, didn't I tell you about being sleepy? Get your damn Starbucks and wake up. You see all my texts, answer them, please. What happened last night? Hello? So what happened? What you doing? I'm calling you. Are you okay? Az, you can't keep being sleepy. You need to learn how to function on 4 hours sleep. Let me speak with Mr. Now the assistant hits her up at 1:30 p.m. and says, let me speak with Mr. Kelly first, and I will advise more regarding your travel.
Yo, downstairs. Yo. Two of them. I knew it. I was about to do those switches, and they did it already.
And then Mom Dukes hits her up at 3:25 p.m. and says, what's up? Are you okay? Here it is, 4:04 p.m. Mom hits her up again and says, hello. Then Jane responds at 4:15 p.m. and says, hey, morning. The assistant. Jane hit up the assistant at 4:30 p.m. that day and said, all right, thank you. Then Mom Dukes hits up Jane at 5:39 p.m. and says, too funny. So you didn't ask him what's going to happen when you leave? Are you sad? That's why you need to press him about your music. See, you didn't show him you were serious about your music. You missed your opportunity. All you got was an extended vacation. See, that's why we should have been involved. What? I can't. I cannot. Did she seriously say that to her daughter? Ridiculous. So now Jane hits up Mom Dukes at 6 p.m. and says, what are you talking about? I'm fine. Then Mom says, so did you ask him, is he going to work with you musically? Because he never really heard you sing or your songs or saw you write. You went to sleep in the fucking studio? Let him hear a duet with Stewie.
Oh, I got shot in the back. Oh, come on.
Then Jane says, yes, he did, Ma, and I went to sleep for 1 hour. Calm down. Mom, then Jane says, we was there for like 8 hours. Mom says, yeah, okay. Hi. Then the assistant hits her up at 7 p.m. and says, hi, Az, working on your travel. What's the best time for you to depart? There's 7 p.m. that arrived at 11 p.m. Will that work? Then Jane says, okay. He said, okay. Then, okay, right. Okay, then the assistant says, perfect, working on it now. Then Mom Duke says, on New Year's, that girl that was dancing nonstop real good, she said it was bachata. Then Mom says, do you remember? Did you make your flight? And then the assistant hits up Jane and says, lets her know her itinerary. Here we go, some more flight records. So now she's just confirming her flight. So now May 2nd, 7:31 p.m., the itinerary Vegas, Delta Airlines, depart Sacramento, arrive in Vegas at 11:05 p.m. And then it talks about the Empire Car Service. She was going to Resident Inn Hotel, dropped off at Sacramento Airport. The hotel is the Mandalay. Bay Hotel, Vegas, 3950 Las Vegas Boulevard South. That's where he had her check-in. Her check-in was May 2nd, and her checkout is May 4th. She was there for 2 days. She will be there for 2 days. And then they said the car will arrive in 45 minutes. The driver's name is Kimberly. Oh, driver's name is Kimberly. And then the assistant said, and then she texts the assistant, okay, thank you. Then all of a sudden, the mom, she hits up the mom and she says, Dom, leave until 7. Oh, I guess she meant to say, don't leave until 7. And then the assistant hit her back up and said, we're cutting it close with time. Kimberly will arrive at 5 p.m. sharp. It's a 45-minute drive. And then the assistant says, do you have bags to check? Then Jane says, no, I don't have any luggage. And I'm ready now. I'm walking down now. Here it is, 8:02 p.m. And the assistant hits up Jane and says, yes. Then Jane responds, well, I'm downstairs waiting. The assistant said, okay, she's 5 away, Kimberly. Then she gave the number to the driver. Then Jane says, thank you. I'm with Kimberly on my way to the airport. The assistant texts back and says, perfect.
I got you. I got him. Yeah, I finally picked up a gun first.
Now it's 8:20 p.m. And Jane hits up the assistants. When you get the chance, just send me the flight stuff. So when I get there, there isn't a holdup. Thank you. Then the assistant said, get it? With a question mark. Then Jane says, no, thank you. Jane says, I won't be arriving until later tonight. The assistant said, correct, 11 p.m. Jane said, thank you. The assistant said, I checked you and I'm sending you your boarding pass. Jane says, thank you. The assistant said, here's your Sacramento boarding pass. Jane said, it didn't come through. The second is blank, but I did get the first screenshot. Thank you. I got them. Then the assistant says, perfect. Now, okay, so the assistant is forwarding her the itinerary information. Jane says, thank you. And then Jane, at 8:49 p.m., forwards the hotel information to her mom. And Jane at the end says, that's my hotel. Oh, my God. Then mom answers her back in reply and says, your flight is delayed, now departing. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not her mom. The assistant. The assistant replied to her and said, your flight is delayed, now departing at 7:37 p.m., so you have a couple of minutes, but don't slow down. Jane hits up mom again and says, I'm staying there till Monday, then coming home. Right, so now she's missing another day of school because of Monday. Then the assistant says, thank you. I'm sorry, no. Jane hit up the assistant and said, thank you about the information. Then Jane hits up mom and said, Google it. Then the assistant texts Jane and said, check in, okay. Then Jane says, yes, I'm at the airport waiting to depart. I have lotion and perfume, and they're big. I'm hoping they don't spot it on LA and make me throw it away. Okay, then the assistant hits her back and says, "Oh gosh, good luck." Then Jane says, "I know, laugh out loud." Then Jane hits up mom and says, "Answer your phone." Then the assistant hit back up Jane and said, "Jane, I have awful phone reception. I've left your cab fare a $20 at the your cab fare of $20 at the front desk when you check in an envelope at the Mandalay Bay Hotel. Please use it. You can order some room service. It's covered by Mr. Kelly." Then Jane says, "I've just landed in LA. Do you know what gate I'm in for that flight?" In the screenshot, it never said which gate. Then Jane says, "Never mind, I figured out the gate number, but do I take a taxi to the airport to my room?" Then the assistant says, "Yes, and there is an envelope at the desk when you check in under your name for you to pay the taxi fee." Jane says, "Thank you." The assistant says, "Safe travels." Jane says, "Thank you. If you're watching the flight, please let me know who won. If you're watching the fight, please let me know who won." The assistant said, "Okay." Then Jane hits up Mom Dukes at 12:51 a.m. "Don't think I'll be able to go to R. Kelly's show tomorrow. Gotta be 18 or older. I'm not." Wow. OMG. Then Mom Dukes responds back to her. Now, this is May 3rd now, guys. May 3rd, and it's midnight hour. Okay? Give me a second. I got to go to the restroom, y'all. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. So now Jane hits up the assistant at 12:30 a.m. and says, "Never mind, I figured." Okay, I did all that. Okay, wait. 18 older. Okay. Okay, now mom responds to her saying that she got to be 18 or older, right? Mom responds and says, "Oh my God, are you okay? Did you make it to your room? Hello? Where did you hear that? Are you okay? Who told you that?" To be honest, I think all his shows require you to be 18, so I'm not sure why you're worried. Call me. Then Jane responds to Mom, no, told you I land at 11. And no, they check in ID at King of Blues or WE. Oh, did he tell you that? That's what Mom said. Jane says, no, I saw online. Then Mom says, well, tell him you're sick. Okay, so Azriel never had a fake ID, guys. She never had a fake ID. That kills that notion right there. That means she showed them officers her real ID. They just didn't give a fuck. She looked like she was okay. That's why they walked out the room. They were starstruck as well. Here's my card if you need security, Mr. Kelly. They didn't look at her ID properly. Because if they would have looked at her ID properly, they would have sent her ass the fuck out that room. So the police were in the wrong as well. Punto. Period. Then Jane responds to Mom saying that, tell him you're sick. She says, laughing my ass off. Then Jane hits up Mom Dukes and says, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Oh my God. Then Mom says, I don't think you would need to show ID because you're his guest. Then Jane says, laughing my ass off, I guess. Why you up? Then the assistant, she texts the assistant, I've safely landed, waiting on taxi to get to the hotel now. This wait is like an hour for taxis. Oh my God. And then Mom hits her up and says, didn't watch the fight. Your father made me mad talking shit after I cleaned before everyone came. You know how he liked to show off around people. So I was in my room. He got mad because I didn't come back downstairs. I fell asleep. So now I'm awake. Oh, God. Then Jane says, who all came? And wow, that's crazy. Don't worry. Me and Kels missed it too. Well, now you can talk to me. And now this is 2:59 in the morning, guys.
Oh my God.
Then the mom hits her up at 3:01 and says, Denny, Mr. Angelo, Dennis, his friend, Vicky, Miss Nikki, and Maurice. Then Az says, oh, well, now you can talk to me, boo. He left me room service to order whatever I want. Guess he figured I was hungry. What the fuck?
Oh, come on. Oh.
Right now, what did Mom say after that? Wait. Jane says, he left me room service to order whatever I want. Guess he figured I was hungry. Mom says, what you gonna do about tomorrow? What? Instead of if it would have been me, I would have been like, what do you mean you figured he was hungry? Is he not feeding you? That right there with red flags, blinking like a motherfucker.
Ew.
There were so many flags blinking.
1 second, I want a dub.
This is another one. Blink,
so
blink.
Until I died. If I didn't die, yo.
And Mom responds by saying, what you gonna do about tomorrow?
Yo, when I got shot from the dude
What?
on the left.
Then Jane responds to Mom and says, I don't know, shaking my head. Leave my ID. and not mention it. I can't drink regardless. So what are you talking about drink? Then mom says, so you at your room? Jane says, nope. Waiting for the driver. Mom says, so where he at? He missed the fight too? Jane says, yeah, he's driving here. Mom says, he's still on the road. I told you traffic would be terrible. He probably stopped somewhere and watched it. I heard Floyd won. And this is at 3:11 a.m., guys. Jane hits up mom and says, yeah, he did win. And I don't know. I text him and said, dang, we missing the fight. He said, we'll just watch the headlights. Mom says, so did y'all kiss yet? What? You mean highlights? Why the fuck are you asking your daughter if you kissed yet? Why is this so important to you? What the fuck? Then Jane says, we might tonight, but what happens in Vegas, baby, stays in Vegas. She said we might tonight, meaning they might kiss tonight in Vegas. Right. They've been kissing, Mom. You knew that. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You knew they was kissing a long time ago. Now you want to ask the fucking question? Then mom says, yeah, your father's petty ass didn't even wake me for the fight. Laugh out loud. That's why you keep saying that. Yeah, he was trying to get some when he was wrestling. Oldest trick in the book. Laugh out loud. Well, I hope don't nothing happen. Steve Harvey say make them wait at least 3 months. They will respect you. How you gonna feel going from lavish lifestyle to normal? What? I can't. You know, mm-mm, mm-mm. Then Jane says, I know, and I'm going to feel sad, to be honest. I'm going to just work harder. I'm right across from the pyramid. Then mom says, yeah, you said he got 3 phones. Jane says, yeah, I know. Mom says, so now he will have 4. I'm tripping, that didn't make sense. So how you like your room? Do you have Stewie's song on your phone? Y'all duet? I didn't even eat. Then Jane says, how will he have 4 and go eat? I'm on my way to my room. Oh, I'm sorry. The assistant, she texts the assistant at 3:30 a.m. and says, I'm on my way to my room. Mom texts her and says, he won't. I was having a blonde moment. Laugh out loud. Tonight and the last few weeks, I've been thinking hard. Just watch this movie messed me up because I'm cooning. I'm going to realize I need to make some changes. I always said when you start college, I would leave. I only stuck around because of y'all. So you were the last one I had to worry about. Thought I was going to have to take care of Avion, but that's not an issue. So I gotta do me. I've been taking bullshit for too long. I have been unhappy sexually. I have been unhappy, sexually frustrated, depressed, mistreated, cheated on, and abused for years. Once you're out the house, it's no need to continue with the lie. I just want to be happy. Never settle for less, and never settle for anyone beneath you or that will mistreat you. If a man treats you with respect and takes care of you, is all that matters. Fuck what anyone else thinks. Oh my God. Never let any man take you to that unhappy place again. Why would she say something like that to her? Bad advice, mom. I'm not saying you won't be hurt by anyone, because you will, but it will only make you stronger. So brush your ass off and keep it moving. But I thought she was hurt by another boy. That's why she tried to kill herself. Right. Learn from it what you must, but get back up. There's always a new day. There's always a new day. You can best believe the moon will shine every night and the sun will rise every day and set every evening. Just don't take bullshit like me. He has told you a few good things. Loyalty and positivity is real. But love, you may have to wait on that when you get older. See, he's older, so love is important to him. Love, when you're young, gets you a lot of heartaches. So, what's love when you fall head over heels in love with him and he's really smitten with you, but not able to reciprocate the love you have for him? All I'm saying is you have to guard your heart. Who took the pic? Are you even reading my text? Then the assistant responded to Jane at 3:55 and said, "Perfect." Then Jane texts the assistant back and says, "I'm about to order. Laugh out loud. I'm starving." The assistant said, "Yes, do order food and enjoy the night." Jane said, "Thank you." Then the assistant texts Jane, and it is still May 3rd, 2015, and it is now 4:26 a.m. "Hi, what would you like from McDonald's? Text me and I'll run out and get it for you." Jane says, "Yeah, a Big Mac, no tomatoes or pickles, medium fries, fruit punch or Sprite, sweet and sour sauces, like 3. Thank you, because the phones in the hotel aren't working." The assistant says, "Okay, got it." Then Jane says, "Thank you." The assistant says, "No worries." Then Jane hits up mom, and it's 5:13 a.m. and says, "Everyone's having fun." And Kel said, "Do not leave that room." Then mom says, "That room is nice. I'm glad he makes you happy. That's all that matters. As long as you're not hurting or thinking crazy, I'm okay with it. And it's good for you to have someone to talk to and that will listen to you and give you the truth, even if you may not be one, even if it may not be what you want to hear. To be honest, that's all I ever tried to do, but you don't like listening to me." Laugh out loud. "I'm glad he's not rushing or forcing you. For that, he gets, because that shows he has a lot of patience. Patience is a virtue which many don't possess." Oh my God. Your daughter already done had sex with him plenty of times since she's been with him. He don't have patience. And the mother is saying all these things and the daughter is quiet. and not saying, yes, Mom, we did have sex. She's not admitting anything. As of right now, at this moment, right? Then Mom Duke says, so you know you may have to tell him the truth about your age. Because of tonight, the show. Oh my God, laugh out loud. How come we've been up since 6 a.m. looking for your possum? Oh my God. Marquise jumped up screaming, saying it bit his hand. He threw it across the room and it ran under the bed. We can't find this motherfucker. He flipped the bed upside down. Oh my God, this shit is too damn funny. Okay, so there was a possum in the house. Then Mom continues to say, you want to start a relationship on trust and honesty. Build your foundation. Without that, you have nothing. It will not sustain. If he give you some money, go buy his CD and ask him to sign it. Buy the real one, not a bootleg, before you leave him. He didn't do any videos yet for his songs. I would be trying to be in the next one. Then Jane says, oh my God, that's funny as fuck. And nah, he hasn't did any videos. I'm sure if I ask, I'll come to his shoot and I will buy one of his CDs, laughing my ass off. Then Mom says, get him to sign it. He's probably so used to everybody asking him for a free one. He will be impressed. Be like, how you going to make money if you give me one? The least I can do is buy one. Laugh out loud. I love his song, Legs Shaking. Oh my God. Before you, and this is what Mom says. Oh my God. Before you leave, do the CD thing and get gift card from McDonald's. Be like, every time you get nuggets, use this gift card and think of me. Laugh out loud. For the man that has everything but only wants McDonald's nuggets. Laugh out loud. Oh my God. Then Jane says, laughing my ass off, I know. Thank you. I like legs shaking too. Yeah, I bet you do, Jane. Then Mom says, your father coming getting on my dang nerves. Jane says, laugh out loud, I bet. Should have came with me. Would have been having fun. Then Mom says, excuse me? Wasn't invited. Then Jane says, laugh my ass off. Well, if you would have made it like you wanted to, you could have. Then Mom says, nah, no one made it that way. It's all good. Soon as I get this surgery, lose this weight, I will get me a celebrity too. Laugh out loud. Oh my God. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm going to read 5 more pages, guys, and then I'm calling it a wrap, okay? Ah, boy. Then Jane says, that's the way you gotta think. Then Mom says, you talking to your dad? Jane says, yeah, I was. Then Mom says, I got a mad headache. Jane says, take a nap. Mom says, nah, so what happened last night? Jane said, nothing. Mom says, W, you went room by yourself? Y'all didn't hang out? Why he tell you not to leave room? Then Jane says, I don't know, just protective, I guess. Then Mom says, so you didn't see him last night. So what y'all doing today? He probably getting ready for a show. You're not going, right? Then Jane says, I don't know yet, to be honest. Mom says, what you doing? Jane says, out the tub, bored. Mom says, you haven't talked to him today? Jane says, yes, I have. Mom says, oh, well, are you going to show what he say? Jane says, yeah, of course, but I don't know if I should. Mom says, I thought you needed ID. Jane says, you do. That's why I said I don't know. Then the assistant hits her up, and it's 4:48 p.m. now. And the assistant says, do you know where the closest mall is? Then mom hits her up and says, oh, okay, he may be mad if you don't show up. Then what you gonna do? Then the assistant hits her up and says, hi, yes, Fashion Show Mall, 3200 Las Vegas Boulevard, Las Vegas, Nevada, 2.5 miles from the hotel. Then the Jane says to the assistant, if I need to get there, do you know how I would? I need to go to the mall, a McDonald's, and a Western Union. I know, and I don't know, to be honest. Then the assistant says, okay, all those places are in the area, so let me arrange a car for you, otherwise by taxi, and the line is long for a taxi ride. What time? Then Jane hits her back up and says, now or anytime soon if possible. Then Jane hits up mom and says, Ma, can you Western Union me some money? Then the assistant hits up Jane and says, okay, stand by. Then mom hits her up and says, are you going to be able to get to the store to get it? Then Jane says, yes, going now. Where do I go? Mom says, is there Walmart's where you at? Jane says, no, Ma, laughing my ass off. Mom says, give me a second. Then the assistant gets hit up by Jane. Jane hits up the assistant and says, all right, so I need to get money from a Western Union. Where could I possibly go? Then Jane hits up mom and says, okay. Then mom says, yes, it is. Jane says, I don't know, to be honest. Then mom says, the closest Walmart is McCrannon Marketplace. Or tell the driver to take you to the closest Walmart. Give me a second. I have to go to Walmart. Then Jane says, okay. Mom says, how much? Jane says, $100. Mom says, what you need money for? Jane says, I need to buy some stuff from the mall. Mom says, okay, so you haven't seen him today? Jane says, no, he said they a couple of hours away. Mom says, so he never left last night? He was still in Cali? Wow. Jane says, they did, but stopped last night. Was there all night. And Ma, how much can you send me? Then Jane says 130. Then mom says, oh. Then the assistant hits up Jane and says, not a single car company with limo service available until tomorrow. The only option is taxi, and the line is long. Then the mama hits up Jane and says, I'm going to send you money. And then the assistant hits up Jane and says, trying to figure it out. Is Mr. Kelly okay with you going out of the room? It's very hectic out. Then mom hits up Jane and says, I gave you 50 when you left and put 40 to your stuff at Walmart. That's 85. It's not my pay week. I just bought your prom dress for 300. Your dad ain't put up shit, and I have to get you tires and brakes. I have to come up with $1,500 for my surgery in 2 weeks. I thought Angelo was rich. He don't need nobody money because he's rich. Right. Uh-huh. Well, It don't look like it to me, according to wifey. Then the assistant, Jane hits up the assistant and says, I didn't ask him if you can't get it. It's fine. I'll just chill inside because the taxi lines are hectic. Thank you for the help. That's what she said to the assistant. Then she hits up mom and says to her, never mind, I'm not going anymore. Thank you. I know you would have helped me. Then mom says, why? What's wrong? I'm on my way now. Then Jane hits up mom and says, no, it's fine. Thank you, though. And I'm not leaving out. The assistant hits up Jane and says, oh, okay, yeah, we will need to make sure it's okay. And it's just very, very hectic. I can get McDonald's to you, no problem. Then the assistant says, what would you like? Jane's mom hits her up and says, wow, really, Az? I'm en route. Then the assistant says, just chicken nuggets, fries, and sweet sour and Sprite. Then Jane hits up the mom Dukes and says, sorry, I thought I was going. Mr. Kelly doesn't want me out. Then the assistant hits up Jane and says, okay, got it. Then Jane hits up mom and says, plus, I can't get any chauffeur due to how busy it is. And then Jane hits up the assistant and says, thank you. I have $100 bill. Do you know if you can get change and buy a $50 gift card from McDonald's? And I'll give you the $50 from my 100 when you get to my room. Then the assistant hits her back up and says, okay, also, you can order room service anytime you like if you want to try something different. Then mom hits up Jane and says, oh, okay, well, did you eat? And then the assistant hits up Jane again and says, did the phone get fixed yet? Then Jane hits up the assistant again, and it's now 5:54 p.m. in the evening on May 3rd of 2015. We're still on May 3rd. So now Jane hits up the assistant at 5:41 p.m. and says, yes, it did, and thank you, but their stuff doesn't really seem good. I don't want to order something I'm not used to and end up just wasting it. I'd rather spend $10 at McDonald's and be satisfied. Then Jane hits up her mom and says, yes. And then the assistant hit up Jane and said, makes sense, gotcha. Then Jane hits up the assistant and said, thanks. Then mom hits up Jane and says, are you okay? And you shouldn't have to worry about tonight because you're his guest and you probably go in the back door. So you won't need ID. And if so, then act like you were rushing and must have left it. What time he's getting there? I'm at McDonald's. Their system is down, so I'm going to wait it out. Shouldn't be too long. Then the assistant, Jane hits up the assistant and says, all right, it's fine. Because the assistant hit up Jane and said that she was at the McDonald's and that their systems are down. Then the assistant, Jane hits up the assistant back and says, don't forget the gift card. And do you know where I could buy a CD by any chance? Or even if they do that anymore, laugh out loud. And then Jane hits up her mom and says, no, I'll go through the front. And I don't know, to be honest. Then mom says, well, I'm going back in the house and taking a nap. My head is killing me. Then Jane hits up Mom Dukes and says, I'm taking a nap too. Then mom says, how do you download music to your phone? Then Jane says, hold the link and it'll say save to downloads and you can change the name and stuff. And that's how. Then Mom Dukes hits her back and says, you remember our old address? Maybe you can ride there. Then Jane says, nope, but Mr. Kelly probably doesn't want me leaving. Laughing my ass off. Then Mom Duke says, it opened in another window that said download. I'm talking about when y'all get together before you leave. Okay. All right, so this is the last page I'm reading, guys. So then the assistant hits up Az, and it's 6:15 p.m. and she says, what kind of CD? Yes, they do. They do it still. And then the mom hits her up at 6:15 at the same time, a couple of seconds later, whatever, and says, I'm on the regular page. It says download or play them. Then what? And then Az hit up the assistant and said, laughing my ass off, an R. Kelly CD. Then Mom says, never mind, I got it. Then the assistant hits her up and says, okay, yes, Target, Walmart, or Best Buy. Then Jane hits up the assistant and says, can you buy me 12 Play and Black Panties album? Thank you. Then Jane hits up Mom and says, okay. The assistant hits back Jane and says, yes, after I drop the McDonald's, I'm going to the mall area, so yes. Then Jane hits up the assistant and says, thank you so much. The assistant said, no problem. Then Mom hits up Jane and says, real quick, what's the Kevin Gates song about the girl? And then Jane responds to Mom, posed to be in love. Posed to be in love. Then Mom hits her up and says, thanks, make sure you do something nice for him since you leave tomorrow. I think you should sing him a song or write him a song. Then Jane says, I know, my sound won't work. What's wrong? I'm going to restart my phone. Then Mom says, do you have a Stewie song? Jane says, no. Then Jane gets hit up from the assistant, and the assistant says, good evening, Az Mr. Kelly has requested your presence at his show tonight. Your ticket will be under your door at 7:30 p.m. The show is at the House of Blues, located in your hotel near the casino area. Mr. Kelly goes on at 10:30 p.m. Please arrive at 10:10 p.m. to get seated promptly. Thank you. Okay, guys. So we're going to leave it here. As we see, the mom is all gusto for the girl to be with the man in a relationship as well as a business venture. And she was giving this girl all the wrong advice, telling her what she should do, how she should act with Mr. Kelly. She was grooming her daughter. She was literally grooming her daughter for him. Telling her, well, he's got to wait 3 months. There's a 3-month rule. He's got to be patient. Did you kiss yet? Oh, like, what? He's going to be my son-in-law. You threw your daughter to the wolf. You made it okay for her to be with a predator. That's sick. You are sick. And you need help. And you need to be in jail. Something needed to happen to you for neglecting your child, for child endangerment, because that's exactly what you did. You put your child in danger. You put your child in danger. And your husband sat back and let you.
Oh, right here. This nigga's
And everybody was in cahoots to make money off of their child and off of R. Kelly. I know you guys wanted your daughter to be a big star, but R. Kelly was not the person to do it. Wrong decision.
He's on the other side of the building. You could jump over the fucking balcony. Yeah, or you go up. Like a right. He's right there on the right side.
So we're going to leave it here. We're going to leave it right here.
Hey, you're not even going to try to get him by himself?
Oh, okay. I'm going to check right now, Mama. I'm going to check right now. Give me a second.
Yo, niggas is trying to shoot me from the mountain. Yo, get the fuck. I lagged, bro. My whole shit just lagged. That nigga's dead. He's trying to res. He's resin. I'm trying to stay alive.
Okay. What?
Alright, I'm gonna finish something.
Oh, wow. Was this today? All right. So 81 they'll. Oh shit. What is her page again? Hold on. Why can't I get the photo out again? Hold on. Now the photo doesn't want to come out again. I was trying to save it. Hold on. K-Love, do me a favor. Send it again, babe. Because I was trying to, I did it wrong. And now it's not showing up again.
Yo,
Can you send it again, Mama?
what are you connected to? Yo.
Oh, my phone probably.
No one's blinking. It's about to die, right?
Oh, yeah, so recharge it. All right, baby. Okay, here we go. Photo saved. Okay. Oh, no. Where's the photo at? Hold on. All right. It says photo was saved. Where is it? It's weird because she says, do you love me? Okay, this is the song Kiki, do you love me? All right, so she's using this line. She says, you know that song Kiki, do you love me? She says, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mama. I'm sorry. 50 dub. I even got it tatted on me. 81. I forgot the rest of the line. I don't know. Yeah, it's God's plan. God's plan. Is it God's plan or Kiki, do you love me? Man, that seems kind of weird. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, guys, y'all already know what to do. It's your girl, Diva Divine Light. You guys want to contribute to the channel, support the channel, donate to the channel. You can hit my Cash App at $ Diva Divine Light. You can even PayPal me at Diva Divine Light. And you can Zelle at 347-664-9253. And you can even hit the super thanks. The super thanks is next to the download button when you go to watch the replay. If you guys want the replay and you want to donate to me, you can hit the heart with a $. You know where you have the like button and the share button and the download button? There should be a heart with a $. It's a super thanks. You guys can donate however much you want. Just hit the heart and it'll tell you how to donate. All right? You could even do it that way. For those that are watching the replay, please leave your comments in the comment section below. Don't be disrespectful. All right? We can have an open conversation without being disrespectful. I appreciate everyone for coming out. Thank you. Don't forget, guys, to please, y'all already know, hit that like button for your sister. All right? Please do me that favor. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you. And put the notification on all so you can get all my content as I upload them. All right, or come live. Okay. Okay. Comment section, you already know. Good vibes out there. All right. You can say your comment. Make sure it's peaceful. It's cool. We'll be all right. All right. And let me get my stuff out of here. All right. So, guys, it was good. We will get back to another part 3. Maybe tomorrow I'll come back. If I have a chance and I get to do it, I will come back tomorrow. Okay, guys? Don't forget, hit that like button, y'all. Share the show. Peace.